I'm Anthony Vandegrift for today's ETA News. Here are the stories we will discuss today. No deal for Israeli-Palestinian peace. Destruction of phone records stopped, and Snowden's video conference. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Tuesday ruled out any deal with the Palestinians, unless they recognize Israel as the Jewish state and give up their refugees' right of return. I will not bring a deal that doesn't cancel the refugees' right of return and doesn't include Palestinian recognition of the Jewish state, Netanyahu spokesman Gindelman said on his official Twitter feed. Netanyahu's remarks, made in an address to the ruling right-wing Likud Be'etzenu faction, touched on one of the most thorny aspects of the peace talks with the Palestinians, and one which looks likely to derail U.S. efforts to extend the negotiations beyond a looming April deadline. The Palestinians have systematically refused Netanyahu's demand that they recognize Israel as the Jewish state, saying it would deny their historical narrative and effectively cancel out the right of their refugees to return to homes that they fled from or were forced out of during the 1948 war, which accompanied Israel's creation. A federal judge in San Francisco stopped the destruction on Monday of millions of telephone records collected by the National Security Agency more than 5 years ago. U.S. District Judge Jeffrey White, who is overseeing an invasion of privacy lawsuit against the agency, issued a nationwide order Monday to safeguard evidence until March 19th, when he will hold a hearing on extending the deadline further. The secret federal court that approved the agency's surveillance has required that documents be purged after 5 years for privacy reasons. On Friday, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court denied the federal government's request to keep the records for the sake of pending lawsuits. White said he was enforcing an order he had issued in an earlier NSA surveillance case that halted evidence from being destroyed. He wrote that the court would be unable to afford effective relief once the records are destroyed, and before he decided if their collection was legal. The plaintiffs in the lawsuits include civil rights, environmental and religious groups, as well as gun organizations and marijuana advocates. In other news, Edward Snowden spoke Monday via live video conference. The former NSA contractor, who remains in Moscow living in temporary asylum, faces felony charges in the U.S. after leaking thousands of classified documents to media outlets. Snowden touched on a number of issues in the hour-long conversation. He dispensed advice on how U.S. citizens can keep their web surfing activities more private by using a free service called Tor, which encrypts web traffic. He also called on the technology industry to create more software and services that help guard individual privacy. He appeared to have no regrets about exposing the U.S. government's surveillance methods. Snowden said to his audience, "And when it comes to, would I do this again? The answer is absolutely yes. I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution, and I saw that the Constitution was violated on a massive scale." These are the stories breaking in our world today, and as always, it's been a pleasure. I'm Anthony Vandegrift, bringing you the latest from ETA News.